Don't ride here. Ride here. Explore new horizons with Moto Freight. Proud sponsors of Under the Visor.
I'm Nora. I'm from the Netherlands, and by day I am a consultant, a freelance consultant for IBM, and on my days off I make YouTube videos for my YouTube channel. Because I went on my first trip and I wanted to do it a little different. I tried blogging on previous backpack trips, but I always gave up after three sentences. So I thought, well, I really enjoy editing. Every time I edit, I just completely forget about the time. So I'm just gonna record this as a sort of a video diary instead of the traditional diary. And I might as well just put it on YouTube then. So my mom can see it, my grandmother can see it, my family, my friends, they can keep up with whatever I am. And that's how I kind of grew. So I switched to traveling with motorcycles because backpacking got too easy. Yeah, I just got bored really, because it was just too easy to go online and find a hostel, stay there, just do all the touristy stuff and just hop on a bus and go to the next location. So I really wanted to move overland. I was really fascinated by this overland travel idea. I didn't want to do it on a bicycle because, I mean, I have mad respect for those people, but I thought I wasn't that crazy. And I thought about going in a 4x4, but I didn't have the money to do it by myself. So I ended up with a motorcycle. And I used to ride motorcycles with my dad when he was in his first midlife crisis. So I had a positive experience with riding bikes as well. So then I was like, okay, it's set. It's gonna be a bike. As soon as I got my license, I went to the dealership with my dad. I tested out 2 or 3 different bikes. This was the one that was most comfy to me, and I said, I'll take it. And I had this trip in the back of my mind thinking, well, you know what, by the time I leave, I'll just buy another one, and one that's more suitable for a trip like this. But I didn't have the budget anymore, so I decided, well, if somebody can ride the world on a Vespa, then I'm sure this bike will make it too. So I started in the Netherlands, and I wanted to ride to Bali because all my friends went to on surf holidays to Bali. I thought, well, it must be a really nice spot to relax after such a long journey. So I decided to ride via Russia, Kazakhstan, all the stans, then track back to Iran because I really wanted to see Iran, and then did Iran, Pakistan, India, and all the way through Southeast Asia to Indonesia. Yes. Also tried to get local SIM cards, upload over 3G. Didn't necessarily work, especially in the stans. I had to go back to 480p sometimes. I could not upload HD videos because it would just take too long. Iran was next level drama because they block YouTube. So you needed to use a VPN to connect to YouTube, and then the internet speeds were dramatically slow as well. So I would turn it on, stay in a hotel, turn it on overnight, wake up, and then it would still be at 20%. So yeah, those were, before I left, I really had a think about, like, am I willing to commit to this? Because I know it will take a certain part of the experience where I'm going to be like this. I'm going to be looking for Wi-Fi. I'm going to be spending so much time behind the computer instead of being out there. But for me, it was worth it to be able to share the story for so many other people out there who maybe are not able to travel. But more importantly for me was to give young girls a view on what a woman can be. So not only what you see a lot on YouTube, the makeup girls with the makeup tutorials and their hauls of fashion clothes that will last them maybe 3 weeks and then they throw them away. I really wanted to counterbalance that with something more raw and pure, and also a side of femininity that you just don't see that much. So I really wanted to share that side. I have 23,000 subscribers at the moment. Really? Yeah. A new trip, yeah. So the romantic side of the story is that I met this guy in Nepal who was also traveling on his motorcycle. He was Austrian, but he left around, he's the same age, he left around the same time, had the same goals in life. And we really fell in love in Thailand and started traveling together. Had some time apart, decided we really liked each other, so continued traveling together, and then we wanted to prepare a trip together. So if we would have continued, it would always be one tagging along with the other. So instead we decided to go back for summer to Europe and plan an entire new trip. That would be something that we would create together. So we are going to Africa. We're going to do North Cape to South Cape. So first from the Netherlands, ride up to, all the way up through Norway, Sweden and Norway to the North Cape, turn around, do Eastern Europe, cross from Italy to Israel, and then Israel all the way south to South Africa, on the east coast of Africa. It's the fact that you have an adventure every single day. Might not be a big adventure, might be finding a post office to post your postcards, but these small things can turn into really big adventures, and therefore I remember every single day of those 14 months. I mean, I can go back through the footage, but I can say I remember this day. As where we've been home for about a year, we've been working, you get back into the groove. If you ask me what I did 3 months ago on, I don't know, the 14th of February, I'm like, I can't remember. You know, and that's something, we only have this much time in our life anyways. So I'd rather spend it creating memories that I can actually remember than doing this repetitive thing over and over again. So that's the addicting part for me. It's called adventurism. So if you, it's the mix between adventure and tourism. I thought I made it up by myself, but it's actually in the dictionary as well. So if you type in adventurism and Nora, they'll definitely find it. Whatever your dream is, go do it now instead of next week, because there might not be a next week. And I'm young. I'm only 31 years old, so if I look through this event, definitely at the bottom side of the age range. But for me, it's just such a waste of, well, you can call it prime years, or this life to spend it behind a desk right now. I could be making a career, you know, but what does that even mean? So for me, to realize that work is not everything is the most important message right now.
Don't ride here. Ride here. Explore new horizons with Moto Freight. Proud sponsors of Under the Visor.